Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the counselor's office. I'm Mr. Gaming Counselor, and here we are, not August. Yeah, we are in August. Time's flying by. We are in August the 3rd, 2023, with Destiny State of the Game. If you guys don't know, I am a big fan of Destiny. It is a game that I have sunk over 7,000 hours into. Absurd amount. But here we are, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to review State of the Game, and I'm going to give my opinion as we read. All this is just about Joe. Joe is one of the leads, game director for Destiny 2. I head down on making sure the final shape and seasons lead up are incredible. I'm going to tell you right now, the seasons have been a fart. Defiance was trash. Deep was very mediocre. I'm not impressed. Sorry, Joe. The way you play and feedback you give is a huge part of how we shape our plans. And it's an honor to log each day and play in the universe alongside you. Back in February, we covered the state of the game heading to Lightfall, and you made Lightfall sound really good, but it was a flaming turd. And laid out 4 big goals we set out for ourselves in Destiny 2. I'm interested to go over those goals. As always, we like to celebrate our community first and foremost. We're thankful to see many players continuing to join us throughout the journey. Since the release of the Final Shape teaser trailer in May, the community reaction to Cade 6 returning has been nothing short of heartwarming. I mean, what'd you expect? Let's be honest here. What I like how they don't even show a picture of the trailer of Cade. It's kind of funny. That was a missed opportunity. But yeah, like, what'd you expect? Cade is not only that, but Nathan Fillion is such a good voice actor. Like, people love that. Okay. Addressing feedback. We've been tracking a number of player feedback items over the past few months. While we've covered some issues recently, including the roadmap for improvements and general stability, it's time for a detailed check-in on our progress in several areas of the game. So here's the thing. Addressing feedback, that is not 100% true. They address feedback in podcasts and articles, but very rarely do they actually post links on their own website. Like, hey, we had this conversation, guys. Please go check it out. Like, you would think there'd be an article with all, like, they would update an article saying, here, this is where you can go for factual news. Maybe there is, maybe I'm wrong. But I would, like, right now, like the TWAB, if you go, or TWID, whatever you want to call it, you can go read Today in Destiny, or This Week in Destiny, and guess what? There's no mention. There's no mention of, like, the podcast. So we're talking about ritual updates. Rituals. People are like, okay, basic Crucible, Gambit, and strikes. Those are your free to play, or free to try, should I say, free to try things that you can get on and play, and those are kind of like dead. There's like what purpose is there really to play? We've heard plenty of feedback from players that our core ritual playlists should feel more consistently rewarding to play, and that those rewards should drop frequently, regardless of the activities you like to play. Rewarding to play, and that those rewards drop frequently. So I guess I should continue to read, because I'm just confused of what they are seeing as a reward, because technically you do get guns. I just think, like, for instance, let's say Randy's from Crucible. I personally think they should cut how many resets you should do. You shouldn't have to do 4 resets to get the max options to get rolls. I think it should be split. I think you should do 2 resets, which is what they try to encourage, and then you could get max rolls. Just, that's a lot more feasible and time sink. Granted, I don't care if I really want to get a weapon. I'll just farm for it. If I really want the double rolls, I'll try to reset multiple times. Sometimes I've done 4 resets. Sometimes I've just done 2 resets for Crucible. I mean, it just depends on how I feel about playing that season. With Season of the Deep, we've upgraded the weekly ritual challenge rewards to exotic engrams to give everyone consistent sources of materials to focus the exact. To give everyone consistent sources of materials to focus exact. Okay, so here's the problem. Here's the problem. No, you don't. There's only 2 sources right now in the game to get the material that you need to focus specifically the armor you want. And that is from Xur per week or your season pass. Ascendant shards you can get, sure. But why am I forgetting what the stupid material is called? I don't know, but it's a cipher. There you go, exotic cipher. There's only 2 places, and technically there's only 1 place in game you can get. And the battle pass is in game, but it's technically not. It's just in a tab. But in game, I go and look for Xur. I find him and I buy it, and then that's it. Once per week. So this is not completely true. In Season 22, we've updated those weekly rituals requirements so players can complete their 9 challenges in any ritual playlist they like, as opposed to having to complete 3 each across Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit playlist. We'll also be increasing the frequency of ritual engram drops after ritual activities, and we're making the latest ritual loophole outfocusable at the respective vendors at the start of the season. So Randy's would technically, at Crucible, I have to wait next season to do it, but technically if it came out next season anyways, I would be able to focus it right there and then. Okay, cool. We're loading, can we do that also? I'm assuming, yeah, we can do that for Vanguard and Gambit. We're loading up our ritual vendors with fresh weapons in Season 22. Thank you. Including the unending Tempest Stasis submachine gun in Crucible, Luna Regala Solar Sniper and Strikes, Boa Fan Void Machine Gun in Gambit, Cataphractic GL Strand Grenade Launcher. If it's a heavy grenade launcher, I don't know how many people will really care about this. And in PvE, like Strand in general, other than matching burn surges, sorry, burns don't exist, surges, Strand weapons kind of suck outside of Quicksilver. Like, if it's not an exotic, it kind of sucks. And Trials of Cyrus and more. We're also bringing some fan favorites. Yes, Igneous Cannon's coming back to Trials. And then Warden's Law is coming back to Nightfalls. And then you get the debt version for Master. Or Grandmaster. Okay. This is how we're making core more rewarding overall. So, rewarding. We are making it to where they drop more. The engrams to focus drops more. And the new shiny weapon you can focus right off the rip. It's a start, but that's weak. That's just, in my opinion, like that doesn't encourage me. Like, for instance, shiny toys, Igneous Hammer, that's Trials. You have to go flawless. Warden's Law, I'm going to do Grandmasters, so it doesn't matter. Like, that's not the basic strikes. I don't know. They often make these playlist weaker weapons because they're easier to get. So I don't know. That, or at least that's their memo, is if it's easy to get, it's usually not as strong as like Trials or Raids or Grandmasters. Okay. Whatever. I think I still see I don't feel the rewarding. If you told me if I had like a streak or something in rituals, like, great, you could do 9 strikes or whatever instead of having to do a bunch of PvP or whatever. That's cool, but I mean, at the same time, that's not really changing anything. It's just giving us more flexibility of what we want to do. It's not actually improving the gameplay. In fact, now I have no reason to touch Gambit. Thank God. I have no reason to touch it with a 9-foot pole. You just killed it. Unless I want to do Season of Triumphs. But now it's like if I want the new shiny weapon, that'd be the only thing I need for it. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Guardians versus Guardians. Thanks to the hard work of multiple teams, we've delivered several additions to PvP. Oh, I'm sure this is gonna be interesting. I'm sure PvP might be seething after this. Additions to PvP over the past few seasons. These include the launch of competitive division. Yeah, I mean, I honestly just don't care about competitive, and most people don't. You just play your couple of ranks, get your weapon of the week, and then you dip. Most people don't even care. In fact, I would argue that the flawless trials emblem is more impressive than Ascendant at this point. Just saying. A revamp of Trials of Cyrus, which happened... No, I mean, the real revamp happened a while ago. Dominion, most people hate Dominion, so I don't know if this is something to be proud of. New competitive and Trials rewards. Sure. You were outside of competitive. Trials was already getting new weapons, but sure. Fire team matchmaking improvements, new rotator playlists, PvP specific weapon tuning, several quality of life improvements, and more. However, we know our hardcore PvP players want more maps. It's not even hardcore. I'm not like I am not a PvP sweat lord. I can be hardcore. I can jump in and just grind it out. But no, like, I think the majority of the base community would like new PvP maps. Like, I'm with the sweats, the 1%. Even though a lot of the things they say, I think they complain too much. I agree. We need more maps. That is the problem with most multiplayer games that have maps, is that there's not enough of them. Fewer cheaters. Again, I think most people don't want to be in a game full of cheaters and an ever-evolving meta that feels good to compete in. Yeah, I mean, good is very subjective, but whatever. The most frequent feedback we see is that there's not enough PvP content, specifically new maps. To set expectations, our studio structure is built to support more overarching updates in PvP like the ones above, rather than focusing exclusively on maps. Woo! Support more overarching updates to PvP like the ones above, rather than... But these were very mid updates. It took years to do something with competitive. It took years to do something with trials. My God, you know what? Bungie, you should just not say anything. To set expectations. To set expectations. But why? Our studio structure. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? It means you need to hire more people. Or not put them all on your marathon game. This right here, like, people make fun of the PvP sweats with their tinfoil hats. Like, oh, they're too busy on marathon. This right here says it. Our studio structure is built to support more overarching updates. They're trying to make it sound like it's a bigger picture kind of deal, but what it is they don't have enough people, so they have to look at the bigger picture. They don't have the people to focus on just maps. They don't have those people anymore because they're in marathon. They're in other games. Bungie just Like I'm curious. I'm sure I can load up Twitter right now and just see some seething. And Bungie's trending. And yep, there it is. I don't know how anyone could defend Bungie after reading that. It was horribly out of touch. All it did was confirm the community's worst fears about the direction of the game. Bingo. Okay, cool. There's a live tweet from someone already in the For You for Destiny. Amazing. With that said, we have exciting... Wait, what was it? When we do focus our resources on building new Crucible maps, it comes with the trade-off of multiple teams' bandwidth on work that contributes to a variety of experiences that players also hold dear, such as new story and exotic mission content, and core activities that make it the foundation of each season destination. Let's unpackage this for a minute. No. We can't do Crucible maps because it takes away from other people. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they used to actually have... I mean, I'm not joking. Didn't they used to actually have people specifically for maps? They had a multiplayer team with Crucible maps. So why is someone with Crucible maps making exotic missions or core activities like multiplayer versus core activities for seasons? Read the line here. Read the line. Usually exotic missions and core activities are found with the seasons. Seasons are paid. Crucible maps are free. Read the lines. Are we reading the lines? What they're really saying is, we don't want to put more resources and money into things that aren't going to make us money. That's what they're saying here. Read between the lines. All this, read between the lines, everyone in Destiny. That's what they're saying right here. Maybe not this, but here specifically, that's what they're saying. With that said, we have some exciting content coming to PvP this month that several teams have brought to life, as well as an update on our advance in game security to combat cheaters, a preview of upcoming sandbox shakeup, and more details coming next week on the general PvP sandbox. Gear and ability balance will evolve. For Season 22, we have a new Vex Network themed map, debuting along with new Relic, 6v6, the gun-focused... Sorry. There's so much BS going on that my stomach can't handle it. The gunplay-focused checkmate modifier for multiple modes for a new competitive Ascendant Division... a new competitive Ascendant Division emblem, and more. I like how the community complained that at least give us an emblem, and that's the bare minimum they did. They're like, sure, we'll give you an emblem and a transmat. I'm going to be honest. I can tell you, no one looks at someone with an Ascendant emblem and go, wow. No one cares. It's just... Same thing with Trials going flawless. Like, there used to be this mysticism when you saw someone with a arm, like an actual adept armor set that was glowing. You're like, holy crap. Now it's like, I'm more impressed with the dudes that go solo flawless on raids than I do with people who do Ascendant level and competitive. Like, great. Did you cheat? Did you get carried? Like, at least solo flawless raiding, you can't get carried, so. Relic and Checkmate will both kick off in Crucible Labs throughout the season so we can gather feedback on how they're received. We'll have more. So, Crucible Labs has existed for a long time. What happened to cranking out different game modes? And what happened? What happened to experimenting? This is something like, we have Rift, which is like the capture the flag variant without being it, but at the same time, Rift sucks. Mostly because the spawns suck. You could have someone running. I want a reverse rift where it's you run into their base, capture their rift, and then it 2 rifts, and then you fight. Like they could literally do a different version of rift where you have to capture the opponent's rift. You go to one end to the other end. How it would be a long, and it doesn't have to be of like a best to 3 or best to 1 or first capture. I don't know, but they could literally do cool stuff like that. I personally just don't get it. New PvP map, multiplex. I'm not really gonna put a lot of reading into that. It's a new map. It's a Vex theme map. Checkmate. I'm more interested in these game modes. Checkmate is a modifier which rich primary weapon fight can happen more often, and gun skill can be augmented by communication and strong positioning. So it's essentially removing the abilities and making it more of just a first-person shooter, just about guns. Okay. Reducing the gap between faster killing weapons and the average. So they're also tweaking weapon kills. It sounds like they're changing. They're making it mostly about guns. I like it. I'm okay with this, but why couldn't we have done this sooner? Same thing, Relic. It's a party mode where players have wreak havoc and destruction on their foes with relic weapons. Okay, Aegis, Synaptic Spear, Scythe. Oh my god. Okay. That sounds all good and dandy. Matchmaking improvements. Our quest is constantly improving. Matchmaking is always ongoing. In Season 22, we're modifying our loose skilled-based matchmaking settings for Control and Iron Banner. These settings will look to improve matchmaking. We are loosening skilled base. Yes, because people don't like skilled base, even though I think it is important. I think dads should play with dads. Average players should play with average players. And PvP players should play with PvP players. Or like sweats should play sweats. But yeah, I think that's how it is. If that's how, and I get we want to play casuals. Here's the thing. There's no good argument from a 1% sweat to why that SBM is bad, other than we want to smash. Want to smash. And I get it. Because I want to smash too. We all want to smash. But we have to take a look and just say, you know what? It is going to ruin someone's fun. But that's life. Life's not fair. And so as much as I like skill-based matchmaking, I'm okay with... Because if you don't like it, just leave. And that's what I do. If I get in a game where they're just so... It is obviously one-sided, I just leave. I'll leave. In trials, I'll leave. In comp, like... I don't care. And people are like, well, you're just ruining someone's experience. Well, I care about my mental health. It's my time. It's my fun. So if it's completely one-sided, just leave. I think they should also just remove all penalties. Remove skill-based matchmaking, but also remove all leaving penalties as well. You want to smash, then smash. But if someone doesn't want to stick around and get smashed, then they can leave. I think it's fair game. Just like Call of Duty. You just leave. More to come in Season 23. Looking further ahead, we're planning on delivering our new Iron Banner mode for Season 23. So we're not talking about this season. We're talking about next season. Or not the next season. We're not talking about Season 22, which is coming up soon. We're talking about even more down the line. Okay? Along with our brand new Hockey Aggressive Frame Strand Pulse Rifle, as our newest competitive division weapon reward, the Mercurial Overreach Adapt Frame Arcs will remain available. So next season will be your last chance to get that God Roll, even though I hear it's pretty trash compared to some of the craftables we have. Like Beloved still apparently is much better. As a reminder, we're also focusing on our map reprisal efforts on porting the Citadel from 2018 to the Crucible in 2023. We all have fond memories of dominating control. Okay, yeah, whatever. So here's the thing. Why we have a bunch of maps? Why don't we just bring all the maps back? And I think all the sweats have mentioned this too. Why don't we just bring all the Crucible maps back? Why do you not bring back all the old ones? Like, at least don't take it away. Just, even if they're bad, it's better to have options than to have none. Like, I'd rather play an occasional bad map in the loop than play the same map over and over. That's why Infinite died, and it's crawling itself from the pit of despair because it had no flipping maps on release. It's been 6 years or more. I don't even know. It's been that many years since Destiny 2's been out. Just bring back maps, dude. Hell, you could literally take chunks out of GMs or Grandmasters and turn them into a literal PvP map. Or give us Forge. I mean, Forge would solve a lot of your problems if you let us Forge. All right, Vanguard. The Vanguard place currently is in a solid place with a healthy population because that's where all the people who can play free to try are at, but okay. And most of people who can't do Grandmasters or anything like that are in the Vanguard playlist. Also, Vanguard playlist is including Grandmasters and Master and all that. So, yeah, but you're not... What about actual, like, Vanguard ops? Like, the strikes, the base strikes. Let's talk about that. First off, Vanguard medals. Vanguard medals will be available in Vanguard ops and Nightfalls, because Nightfalls are actually what people are playing. Vanguard ops, that's the playlist that needs help. Like, there's zero... I have zero reason to play a strike. I will just go play Nightfalls. I stay away from the base strike Vanguard playlist, and I play Nightfalls. Not only that, I get both rewards. I get both strike loot, and I get Nightfall loot. That's a problem. Either get rid of the Vanguard loop, or do something with it, because it's not rewarding. Nightfall starting in 2022. After being introduced in last year's Guardian games and their continued success in this year's event, we decided to bring them in full time to spice things up in our Vanguard playlist. God, I hate medals. It's so stupid. Medals will contribute to scoring, allowing players to attain higher scores and reputation multipliers, performing unique actions and doing cool things. Our goal here is to reward players for playing well. So, medals will give you a higher... This is what I care about. Multiplier. So, if I... Theoretically, if there's 100 points worth of medals, and I unlock all the medals, I get a flat multiplier. Just right off the rip. I don't have to do anything, I get a multiplier. Is that season by season, or is this reset every season? Our goal here is to reward players for playing well and not requiring players to go out of the way to grind for score. Medals will contribute to scoring, allowing players to attain higher scores and performing. Medals contribute to scoring, allowing players to attain higher scores and reputation multipliers, performing unique actions and doing cool things. Not requiring to go out of the way to grind score. In short, we don't want you to feel like you have to comprise your build or to boost your score with additional medals. This confuses me. I don't know if I'm dumb. We're gonna make scoring, but we don't want you to focus on scoring. We're also going to increase multipliers for reputation, but we don't want you to feel like you have to change much to do it. It's worth noting that some medals will remain Guardian Games staples and not be available in Vanguard playlist. So don't expect finishers to grant you a medal in Nightfalls. Oh, okay, so medals increases your overall score, and the score is what increases your reputation gains. Got it. That was kind of... This is the point. When I'm thinking medals, I'm thinking on your tabs list, you can go onto your, like, score, your triumph score, which is usually 0. That's what threw me off. And they show you medals. So that's what I thought. Like, oh, we unlock them? But that's not at all what they're talking about. They're talking about actual, like, just in the moment medals. I really stood away from Guardian games, so I'm just saying. I wasn't really paying attention. Okay, I mean, there will be several new medals specific to Vanguard playlists when they launch, and you can expect to see a few more in Season 22. Additionally, the selection of active medals would be determined based on the currently active modifiers, such as surges, to ensure a variety of builds are used for acquiring medals. We've also recently focused more on our team's resources into more varied and frequent seasonal activities, such as battlegrounds. All that they've done is we make content from seasonal, and instead of actually making new content, we're just taking what we've already made and putting it in there. I actually don't mind this. Maybe a hot take, I don't know. I don't care. If it's a good thing, I don't care. It's adding more it's doing more than PvP, to be honest. I'm sorry. It's doing more than PvP. At least they're giving us something to play, something else to do as a Grandmaster. Because if they didn't, we wouldn't have a new Grandmaster, like, until the next expansion. So, I'm okay with this. Gambit. As many of you noticed, we've been quiet on Gambit. No. You've abandoned Gambit. Gambit is this ugly stepchild that you tried to love, but then you realize it's uglier than a mother trucker, and so you've just abandoned it. You didn't even try to give it up for adoption for someone to try to love and care for. You didn't bother to let someone else come in and take care of that stepchild. No, you just abandon it at the gas station, telling it you come back for a carton of milk and cheese later. Overhaul is a stretch. All they did was consolidate and tweak things. Most people liked Gambit Prime, and a lot of things have been stripped and redone. And honestly, Gambit's all right. It has its flaws. Like, I personally think heavy shouldn't exist in Gambit. Or you literally only get one shot of whatever you're using in Gambit. I think Gambit heavy is too instrumental. I think invasions should be one per game. And I think it should be in the mid, like, time gated, not moat gated. I think at one specific time, you can expect to go cause havoc. And you should extend. Not only make it one, but you extend the time that you have. So a really good player can go and just, like, say, for instance, someone's in the lead. I can go and I can cause so much havoc over there. I can get 10, 13 kills if I'm really good. And I can slow other players. Not only that, let me actually, like, be able to kill the enemies. Like, you actively could either choose to kill the players, or you could kill the enemies in the game in their side of the map and steal all of it and bring it back home. I'm just spitballing, but that's already improvement. I think most people hate invasions, unless you're weird. Most people hate that heavy is so prominent. How it's like, it's not even like, there's no way to even balance Gambit, because you can go from it's even fight to just someone somehow one-shots the boss, and you're like, huh, okay. And if you think that's not possible to one-shot, there's people that have dang near done it. In the revamp, teammates, blah, 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 blah. Fundamentals, primeval tuning, invasions, which still needs work. Ammo economy still needs work. Rewards. I will never think Gambit is rewarding enough to play. Unfortunately, it didn't move the needle for the player engagement. I wonder why. Although, you know what? Here, this is how you save Gambit. You made a pre-styled loadout. Just like you do with torches. You have us come in. Like, you disable weapons. And I know it would take more work, but this would make Gambit better. You know why people love Gambit when it first came out? It's because everyone had the same weapons. Everyone was on the same playing field. It wasn't about who had the cheesiest stuff. It was about who was able to work as a team, who was able to actually have the skill to navigate. Because everyone had the same loadout. That's how you make Gambit fun. You make it competitive. You make it focused on team play. Right now, it's someone sits AFK just to get through the playlist, or some people don't dunk and don't play the game like they're supposed to, and then they die, and we just it's a bad experience. And that's where Invasion comes from. These include porting Cathedral Scar. Oh wow, we're again an old map. Wow. We don't have plans to dedicate more resources to significantly transform Gambit. We do. We're only bringing a map forward. Here's not. It's not even like you have water pouring through your submarine, and you're gonna try to patch it. You're literally getting a band-aid and putting it over the submarine. You know, that's bad taste. I didn't think about it. It's like a water balloon, holding a water balloon, and it's got water pouring out like pretty quickly, and so you put a band-aid on it instead of actually like putting a seal on it. It's pathetic. Shadow Legion Life, Lucent Hive enemy types. Wow. Wow. We're actually getting new enemy types. That's crazy. Before, we're making Gambit entirely optional to maximize your... Before, we're making Gambit entirely optional to maximize your reward unless you're looking for a piece of gear that's specific to the mode. We know Gambit sucks. We're not doing anything about it except for giving you a new map and some enemies that we've had for a while. Good luck. Gambit will continue to serve as a source of exotic engram via weekly challenges, yada yada. We reduce the number of Gambit-specific seasonal challenges because Gambit sucks. We're gonna let you get that fat, juicy, bright dust at the end of your challenges. So bye-bye, trash Gambit. We're adding Fireteam matchmaking to Gambit and replacing Freelance Node. This is because no one's playing this mode and they know they have to shove people in it. No one's playing the basic Fireteam node. Everyone's playing Freelance. And so people who want to play against teams can't. This is going to make Gambit more miserable. This is where I begin to AFK with the rest of the normies. I'm going to be an AFK normie just for the loot. Because if I get shoved against a 2-stack or a 3-stack, I'm no longer, or 4-stack, because now it's 4, it's not like trials. So go a 4-stack. Like if it's anything more than just a 1-stack, I'm immediately AFKing, or I will give it a good old gander. But if I see it's lopsided, I'm just gonna stop trying, and I'm just gonna transfer over weapons that I need to level up, and I'm just gonna use that gun, and I'm not even gonna play the objective. I'm gonna use it as level up simulator. Armor set rewards. Yes, where be the armor? What is this? I'm gonna be honestly honest. I'm not impressed. It looks. We've had so many bears or bulls or things that look like animals. Can we just have a normal set that isn't based off animals? Like, what happened to the OG trials where it had like the scarab god looking stuff? People like that armor. I've not liked the armor since probably the first generation of Destiny 2 trials, and maybe second generation. The monkey armor was just stupid. This bear armor is stupid. Like, I don't know. I'm not impressed. A long time ago, we shared a plan to address concerns on reward balance. Players have pointed out that we didn't release a new armor set for the Ritual playlist, Vanguard, Crucible, and Gambit, with Lightfall as previously called out in our yearly release schedule. Delivering Ritual armor sets at the rate we have in the past has become increasingly challenging. What the hell are you talking about? It's a year! You can't make new armor sets in a year, but you can make new armor sets for every gosh dang event. Every season there is a fancy paid armor set. Oh, don't forget the cosmetic armor you can buy, the one that transforms and goes with your exotics. Man, if only we stopped making, what is it, 3 per character, and then there's like 3 or 4 per season. Like every season there's a new one. If we stopped making those and then actually made armor sets, or at least one armor set, wow, we could actually do it. But man, our resources, it's so hard. It's so hard. It's a year to develop armor. It's so hard. It's so hard. You can't do it. No, because it makes you no money. This doesn't make you money. That's why rituals are free to try. They're free to try. They make you no money. We don't want to do it because we want money. We want money. Greedy, greedy, greedy. I have to tell you, if things don't change, and they won't, honestly, the final shape might be the final destiny for me. I've increasingly gotten tired of trash live games. Like live service games. They have gotten so, like, I'm just waiting for Bungie to start putting NFTs. We're at that level of greed with Bungie. That they can't even, they lied. They lied. They didn't, there's no apology here. At this time, we are amending our delivery plans for how often we refresh these sets, and will no longer be creating new sets for every expansion. However, we are prioritizing the delivery of new ritual armor sets alongside the final shape to infuse some new looks. The final shape is supposed to be the final shape. It is the last expansion. Of course, we're not going to do it anymore, but we will do it for the final shape so people love us. This right here, this is greed. There's no apology. There's no sorry. We set expectations. This is the most hollow BS. This is so hollow. Game security. Finally, we've been working with Battle.net to address network manipulation tools, improve data collections, cheaters, burner accounts, boosting. Good. Let's be honest. They will never catch boosters. VPNs exist. You will never be able to catch boosters. You will never, like, honestly, I can probably honestly say that most people don't care about boosters, except unless you're the 1% sweaty that just want to complain about every little thing. I would say they would argue that they would rather have strong connection, better matches, and no cheaters. Like, all this is just pretty words. That's all this is pretty words to try to make the PvP people happier. All that this is, game security. This is all it is for the sweats that have complained about it, the cheaters and trials and Crucible. Like, I report every person that gets a flick with a sniper, especially if I'm shooting them, because you never know. That's how rampant cheating is. And I've literally gotten feedback saying thank you for your report, because I've reported people who snipe cheating. It's so bad that I can't even say, like, man, they're really good, because you don't know. You don't know. So I report everyone that gets like a flick with a headshot, or if I'm like crazy multiple flip headshots. Brand cheaters also been using the Thundercloud, Thunderstrike, or Cloud Strike. Sorry, Cloud. Whatever. I've taken a vacation away from Destiny 2, and it's done great for my mental health. What's next for security? Improving, evolving, yada yada. One last reminder: we receive countless messages from banned accounts that state they don't remember cheating. We investigate these cases, often find their accounts are someone else's hands. So what? I love this. We can remind everyone must protect your account and not use recovery services, saying that fingers were not on the keyboard when cheating occurred. So you're not going to get banned from this if you use VPN, but if they cheat, you will. That's the real point that's being said here. Stability. Life service improvements, using new logs, detection, moving forward. All this is just humbo mumbo jumbo that we can all say the stability. They've made like 5 different stability posts. We can say that stability sucks. What this says is, we know stability sucks. We're working on it. You can expect stability to be improved in the future. That's what they usually say. Read it for yourself. I honestly just, I don't care. Moving forward, 7.2, we begin to do internal chaos testing using the new code. We added are already using data to make improvements and update as we verify current fixes, yada yada. Focus is focused on detecting, fixing current stability issues. The theme will help protect us against stability issues that occur in the future. So they're just trying to fix the game. Okay. Seasonal structure. This is probably the more important thing. As we mentioned back in February, we've been working behind the scenes to shake up the seasonal paradigm. Seasons suck. Defiance has probably been one of the worst seasons outside of Plunder. I think Plunder was the worst. But man, I'll tell you right now, and that's not like King's Fall was great, by the way, for that. I'm just saying the seasonal content itself was very dry and boring. Like, it's very generic, very copy pasta at this point. It's the same thing over and over. And even deep dives. Like, deep dives suck. I like the roguelike aspect, but it's so boring. It's so boring. We know our players are looking for more variety and repeatable seasonal activities, and more than anything, we want to constantly surprise everyone with what's coming in each season. Although we'll talk a bit about this below, and you'll see action in our showcase. We're giving ourselves more freedom to stretch narratively and in gameplay systems throughout. Stretch narratively. Wow, yeah, like how Season of Deep had things that should have been in Lightfall. Da-da-da-da! A preview of what's to come. Before we get into our 6-month progress report on our goals for the year, we want to share some previews. Quality of life. Okay. Favorites. You could... Okay. Cool. You can get stasis fragments instead of having to run across to do stupid missions for Elsie or the stranger. You just... They're available to be unlocked. Cool. Transmats are permanent now instead of being one-time use. Thank God. Wish Ender Pursuit. They're fixing the quest so it's not stupid. Resource tab collection. That's great. New players will actually know what the hell these are and where you get them, including us. Which is funny. Exotic Cipher. Isn't that funny? How this is what you use to focus exotics, and the only source is Xur's Xenology. Man, you're really increasing where we can focus. You give us all the exotics, but no way to actually focus them specifically to the pinpoint armor we want. That's great, Bungie. That's hilarious. Iron Banner Challenge splits, with Pinnacle rewards not being as big of a draw as they once were season to season. We felt it was time to split the Pinnacle acquisition and reputation multipliers we added back in the Season of the Haunted. Starting in Season 22, Iron Banner will have 2 different stacking challenges each day. One for players who just want the reputation multiplier, which does not require using specific seasonal subclasses. And other who want to go after the Pinnacle rewards, which does require. Okay, so you could choose. You could play Iron Banner and get experience, essentially. Or you could play to get Pinnacles and you still get experience. Cool. Season 22. Cool. Great. Ritual rank ups immediately. Dating all the way back to Season 3, ritual reputations, previously known Valor, Glory, Infamy, waited until you hit orbit, process any rank ups because almost full screen banner will overwrite the scoreboard if it showed up early. It also showed up in the, like, leveling up showed up in your stupid screen too. When we revamped the streamline reputation over the past years, we moved the rank banner to the bottom of the screen and made them less conspicuous. But we felt processing of the ranks until you hit orbit. Now we've taken the step and made the ranking up process immediately at the end of the activity. No more waiting for rewards. Now you'll show up right in your loot team. Great! You know how many times I've left a game too soon, after, even though it said that I've won, and then I didn't get loot or experience for it? Or it's just stupid. Especially now with accommodations. Accommodations suck. Sandbox update, strand update. We're getting new strands. Cool. We're getting aspects. Cool. Whirling Maelstrom, Banner of War, Weave Walker. That's it. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to provide height for, you know what? Cool. Exotic armor rework, similar to our first wave of exotic revamp. So they're season 22. We're gonna, but watch our new developer insight article going live next week. Okay, cool. Why mention it then? Why didn't you just? Why mention it? Like, hey, we're telling you it's gonna happen, but not now. It seems unnecessary. Like, just surprise us. New weapon, because no one's like, hey. New weapon subfamilies coming. We're introducing new subfamilies. Cool. Weapon tuning. Yes, there's a lot of changes coming in. Fall off. Anything new in here? I see Touch of Malice. We also have hand-tuned a small list of exotics and all special weapons with the intention of keeping them near where they are in the live game. Okay? In addition, we have a lot of other things to look forward to. Hand cannons are doing more PvE damage. Sword, full power heavy attacks will be usable with any non-zero amount of sword energy. Whoa. Hold up. Sword, full power heavy attack. So we're doing a absolute heavy attack. You can do that with no sword, like energy. That sounds crazy. So if the sword's charged, you can use it. That actually might be pretty good. I don't know. I don't know. Touch of Malice is getting some tweaks we think players will enjoy. Good, because it sucks. The only thing that made it good was its bug with Divinity. And even then, it was only really being focused. Like, I didn't think it was that broken, to be honest. It wasn't like... There were other things that could melt. But I don't know. I feel like it should have been made a perk in the... But Touch of Malice is so bad. Especially, like, in PvP and PvE. Like, PvP, you're just gonna die. Like, you'll never see it in Trials. And in PvE, like, you'll never see it in Grandmasters. Even for healing, like, the damage is so poor. They're changing Bipod. Or they're... helping Bipod, Envious Assassin, Under Over. I thought Envious Assassin was already good. Like, I love Envious Assassin, so this is a net positive. Bipod is trash. It's cool. Like, the idea is cool. It's trash. Under Over, I don't even know what it is because it's probably that bad. Reinforcing our goals for the year. About 6 months ago, we laid out our plan. With Lightfall, and it's 2 first seasons under our belts. Lightfall, the trash that is, okay? And launch a season 2 in our showcase, or just run a curve. We'd like to catch up on some things. We want to expand players' imaginations. And in Lightfall in season 1, we transform many of the ways players typically interact with the game. AKA, we made it bad. It was trash. The story was garbage. Not only that, but Season of Defiance literally contradicted the story of Lightfall and the fact that the Witness had no desire for us, that he just wanted the veil, and then Defiance made it sound like, you know, he wants to hurt us because of friendship. So yeah, whatever. Our core systems, build and craft, yada yada. Season deep, we replaced typical vendor upgrades model, yada yada. Now, without spoiling anything ahead of the showcase, our next season will be heading into creative territories we've never explored before. Is it actually going to be good? Including seasonal progression paradigm with all new mechanic. All were revealed August 22. Great. Can't wait to see that. Taking a step back to examine the overall narrative of the year, the team is laser focused on ensuring the connective tissue in our storytelling between 20 and 2023 and the final shape. Here's the fun thing. You take stuff from Lightfall and you sprinkle it over the season, it's now boring. You should have played Lightfall and got the full story. You can play Lightfall, you could watch the first cutscene of Lightfall and then the last cutscene of Lightfall, and you've got the whole story. I wish I was joking, but I'm not. You could watch a couple of other... You don't even actually have to play the game to understand what has happened. That is the story of Lightfall. That's it. So your tissue sucks. It has cancer. Your tissue is cancer. More impactful than last year's season, we're leading up to Lightfall. We're taking the feedback to heart and loading this year up with important moments designed to capture players' imagination and move the saga forward with each beat. We've already proven this out in Season of Deep with a revelation that witnessed, yes, what should have been in the final shape. You ding-dong dangus. Substantial lore drops throughout the season in Neomuna that no one, if you looked it up, how many people have the gun? Only 1.4% of the community have the gun because no one knows about this stupid... And even they admitted, yeah, we kind of put it far away and we were trying to make it more adventurous. No, you're stupid. This whole is so stupid. It's so stupid. We know there are some who would have preferred to experience these stories. No, there would not. There's not some. Bungie, don't try to twist it. The whole community... What I should say, we know the community does want the experience to be an actually, dumb. Can I speak? We know there is the community at large. And you all preferred that these stories were in Lightfall as a whole campaign instead of a trash can bin dumpster fire. With those players in mind, we believe the totality of this year's narrative will set the stage for the final shape. Even though all this will be sunset anyways, which is funny. The final shape in ways that a single story beat never could. And to put concerns to rest, the final shape and its raid will provide a climatic conclusion to the Lightfall and Darkness Saga before we look ahead what's to come in season. Oh, great! So that means we get a full package, so I don't have to play the next season to actually get the full story. Wow! It's almost like we did that in Witch Queen. Wow. Bring challenge back to Destiny. Oh boy. We've heard this one. Although we were a bit uneven on this one start, we feel achieved gold. Neomuna is easier. Yada yada. We won't be raising cap level. We've seen a ton of the positive feedback. Yes, no one cares about your generic trash can. Oh, I've got to do this. You know how much I don't care to grind up characters? I don't. I was craving tougher rewards. Yes, if you still want to do GMs, you still have to do power level with your artifact. Cool, whatever. Great. Moving on. Enrich our content based on feedback throughout the year of the Witch Queen. We knew players wanted more exotic missions the community would need to discover on their own. We also heard the request for long-time players to return to previous. Yes. Season of the Deep mission suck balls. It was literally just a copy pasta of deep dives, seasonal content that was already existing. And instead of making its own official mission, kind of like Avalon, which is funny because they mention Avalon and notes. They mention Avalon. Oh, they do mention C&D brought the Whetstone exotic mission, even though it's the deep dive mission with a dash of Whetstone. We're bringing, they're bringing their rotator. They said they would. Finally. Okay, great. To recap the PvP front, and they really know that they're trying to sell you crap. is when they circle all the way back to PvP because they know PvP players are seething right now. We're delivering the new season 22 content we mentioned above, including the brand new multiplex map, new relic, yada yada, new competitive emblem, and a slick new Trials armor set. In addition to the new returning weapons, yada yada, Iron Banner, yada yada, exotic armor upgrades. What upgrades? You're only giving what? We'll also have new. Oh, I didn't read this. New sandbox overhauls, exotic upgrades, and weapon tuning changes to keep the meta fresh. Yes, that's truly changing PvP. Finally, we called out back in February that we're initially targeting more changes to ritual content. And while we've made the recent decision to push initiative to final shape, we have made plans to replace some bounties with a more rewarding, engaging system, tentatively called the Pathfinder. This is going to be debuted in the new destination, and we're currently nailing down a plan for how we can use the new system to replace core ritual bounties in the new year. For now, here's a work in progress. Oh. So you do things to get your pinnacle weapon or pinnacle gear. Cool, you get to choose the path. Great. Connected to Guardians, play systems, quality of life. We're making big changes to the Precious system that will help connect even more players. Yada yada. Okay. The feature list above, combined with everything about to show on August 22 and everything yet to come, will create the best gameplay experience for the widest audience. Again, they're trying to get a lot of casuals in. They want your money. The final shape is incredibly special to us, and I have no hope. I'm going in with like this is going to be a 6 out of 10, and that way, if it is good, it's going to blow me away. But I'm coming with zero hype so that I know that I'm just not disappointed. We're committed to make it special for our players. Thanks again for taking time to read this. Today was just a piece of what we have in store. Here's the thing. This is fine and dandy. They're going to do their showcase, but it's just a pre-recorded video. It's always a recorded video. I miss the days where Bungie would come live, and instead of giving us this, they would talk about it. It was more sincere. It was more sincere. And don't give me, well, they came in so toxic. No, they stopped doing the live streams way before that. Way before that. And I don't want to hear crap because Diablo 4 literally has emergency dev streams where the players are just crapping on them, but they're listening and they're trying to literally fix the game. Like Diablo 4 you can tell that they care because of the fact that everything they say they're doing outside of the first patch. They did an emergency live stream to talk about the patch. But man, there's like no discussion. The only discussion you get from Bungie is if they go to some random podcast, but the overall community is not going to know about it or an article. Like, what the hell? Put it in your actual YouTube, Destiny the game. I want to see a live stream. I want to see the details. I want to see the information. I want to sit down and ask questions to devs. And if the question is, well, people are just rude and mean, boo-hoo, cry about it. What happened to DMG? Not cool. Death threats. But there are always going to be people that are going to be mean. Get over it. We don't want to do a live stream because mental health. You're dumb. A lot of the community has legit criticism. So you ignore the stupid crap that people are throwing and you target the criticism, the genuine criticism in the comments. It's simple. Be genuine with the community. I'm tired of this. Bungie is no longer genuine. The only time I get to see excitement from them is a video. I remember them coming on a live stream to showcase live the Age of Triumph armor set and talking about it and talking with the community about it. Those were special moments. Hell, even if it was a pre-recorded video, at least it was an attempt at being live. We get like a documentary, like once in a blue shining moon. I don't know, but that's the state of the game. That's my opinion. This is why I've stopped playing Destiny nearly as much, at least this season. I will definitely come back for day one and next season, but I've taken a break, and I would advise everyone else to give a break from Destiny 2. It's not in a good spot. The state of the game is that it's bad. It's really bad. All right. Game out.